Son, says the father, what is that? The son proceeds to methodically open a silver capsule, almost like a pill, but many times larger, and slides the stick in. Every motion seems calculated, and the father's presence did nothing to hinder this. In due time you will know. For now, let's keep things the way they are. Normally, the father runs a tight ship. Openly hiding something like this from the father was unheard of in this household. Even though the son was better behaved than the other children of the father, he was not exempt. However, the father hesitated this time. Perhaps it was the confidence, the demeanor, the audacity. Either way, the son seemed to have gotten away with things as the father changes the subject. Have you seen your mother? I have something I need to discuss with her. Previously, the son had not even bothered to look in the general direction of the father. He slowly turns his head towards the father in an almost robotic way. A perfect turn, not a shred of humanity left. He says to the father, "She said she would be gone for a while. Why don't you relax? Seems like you have had a rough day." The words seem to have an almost magical effect on the father, as he seems to follow without hesitation. An almost magnetic pull begins to take the father away from the son's room and drags him over to the couch. Just because the situation had taken a pause did not mean that the father did not have questions about what had just happened. What were the forces causing him to hesitate? What was the son hiding? Where is his wife? With the forces still at play, all the questions seem to slink to the back of his mind as he mindlessly watches the TV. Some time passes. The father awakes in a cold sweat. It is still night. He quickly wipes his forehead, gets off the couch, and stands in the living room as his brain gets going. As he fully awakens, he walks back to the son's room as he slowly cracks the door. The hinges creak, ruining his plan to be silent. However, as he fully opens the door at a faster speed, he realizes the son is not present. Where is he? No matter, as the father can now search uninterrupted. Starting back at the desk, he looks across the top. Meticulously organized, nothing out of place. He looks inside the pencil holder. There's nothing out of place. He opens up the top drawer. A stack of school papers. Nothing out of place. He opens the second drawer. Inside this drawer, there are various wires and cords, but something under that catches the father's eyes. A dime bag, coated in a white residue. The father, horrified, grabs the dime bag and bins it. Remembering his own past, he conjures up a plan to discuss this with the son. I understand times are a bit tough right now. I've been through what you're going through. We can get through this. As the father is thinking these things, he notices a small silver capsule slightly hidden under his bed. Remembering his previous encounter, the father walks over to the capsule and picks it up. The surface is smooth and metallic, feeling heavier than it looks. Realizing it is more complex than he first thought, he pulls down a small lever that allows him to twist it open, almost like a child-proof lock on a pill bottle. Inside the capsule is another stick, with the difference being that the dodecahedron at the top did not contain anything. The father puts the top half of the capsule back on and sticks it in his pocket. Behind the father, a loud noise erupts. Startled, he flinches first before turning around. Another dodecahedron is sitting in the air, cut in half. The other half seems to be elsewhere. However, it immediately noticeable as something inside of it, the same thing that he saw before, a black vortex raging intensely. The shape somehow kept it trapped inside. The object slowly moves down from where it was, leaving a line in the air. The line shone brightly, luminously glowing blue and red, singeing the father's eyes. The object then moved to the right, then up, then back left, making a perfect rectangle. The rectangle begins to fill in with a white light as the sun emerges from the side. Why are you in my room?